You ever sit down in a movie theater, popcorn in hand, lights dimming, and then realize you're about to watch 30 minutes of ads before the movie even starts? Not trailers, ads. For insurance companies, for soda, for streaming services you already pay for, and you think to yourself, wait, didn't I just drop $20 for this? Well, now even Variety is saying what audiences have been feeling for years. This is killing the movie-going experience. They just published an editorial titled AMC Theatres adding more commercials before screenings hurts the movie business. And honestly, they're right. But it's also kind of surreal that it took this long for a major Hollywood trade to say it out loud. Because this isn't new. This has been building for years. And it's not just annoying, it's existential. Let's break this down. Going to the movies used to mean something. It was an event. You paid for the big screen, the sound, the communal energy. You paid for the magic. And for a long time, that value held up. But now, you're paying more than ever and getting less. You walk into a theater and you're hit with a wall of ads before the trailers even roll. Then you get another 10 minutes of trailers, most of which feel like studio obligations instead of hype builders. And then, finally, the movie starts. It's not just that the experience has changed, it's that the value has inverted. You're paying premium prices for a sub-premium experience. And Variety is finally calling it what it is, a problem. The ad creep is real. AMC, Regal, Cinemark, they're all doing it. More ads, longer pre-shows, branded content, QR codes, loyalty programs that push you into watching even more ads. It's not about enhancing the experience, it's about squeezing every last drop of monetization out of a captive audience. But here's the thing, audiences aren't captive anymore. Not in 2025. Streaming exists, piracy exists, and the second you make the theater feel like a chore, or worse, like a scam, people will find alternatives. Now, I'm not here to advocate for piracy, but I am here to talk about why it happens. Gabe Newell said it best. Piracy is almost always a service problem, not a pricing problem. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. Back in the day, if you didn't want to pay for a ticket, you might buy a bootleg DVD from a guy on the street corner. A grainy cam rip, shaky footage, muffled audio, not ideal. But sometimes it wasn't even about dodging the price. Sometimes that cam rip was the only way to see the movie at all. Maybe it didn't come to your town. Maybe it had a limited release. Think about Wes Anderson films or smaller indie titles. They might only play in New York, Los Angeles, and a few art house theaters. If you live in a smaller market like Bowling Green, Kentucky, you're shit out of luck. So now imagine you finally get access to that movie, and you're greeted with 30 minutes of ads. That's not just frustrating, it's insulting. And it makes the pirate version look like the more respectful option, because at least the cam rip, as shitty as it is, gets you straight to the movie. No ads, no fluff, just the film. And here's where it gets even more frustrating. This isn't how it works everywhere. In many international markets, France, Japan, South Korea, parts of Europe, the pre-show ad load is minimal. You might get a couple of trailers, maybe a sponsor message, and then the movie starts. On time. Why? Because those markets still treat cinema as a cultural experience. There's a respect for the audience's time. There's an understanding that the movie is the main event, not the appetizer to a corporate ad buffet. And the irony? These are often the same movies, same studios, same distributors, but the US market gets the bloated, ad-heavy version because theater chains here are more focused on short-term monetization than long-term loyalty. It's not a global standard, it's an American problem. And when you think you can escape the ads by staying home, streaming pulls the same move. Netflix, Disney+, Max, now going back to HBO Max, Peacock, Paramount+, even Amazon Prime Video, they all offer ad-supported tiers now, and they're not fringe options anymore. Over half of new streaming signups in the US are for ad-supported plans. Why? Because people are tired of paying $15, $20, $25 a month for each individual service. The total cost of ad-free streaming has ballooned over 50% in the last 5 years. So yeah, people are choosing the cheaper option, even if it means watching ads. But here's the key difference. Streaming ads are usually shorter, more targeted, and less disruptive. You're not sitting through 30 minutes of them. You can pause, you can skip, you're in control. Theaters? Not so much. You're locked in. No skip button, no fast forward, just you, your $20 ticket, and a half hour of being held hostage by car commercials. So what are theaters doing? They're panicking. They're still recovering from the pandemic. Attendance is down, studios are shortening theatrical windows, streaming has trained audiences to expect instant access, and instead of innovating, theaters are doubling down on monetization. More ads, more upsells, more loyalty programs, but all of that just accelerates the decline. It's a death spiral. And the worst part? It's 100% self-inflicted. Instead of investing in the experience, better projection, better sound, better customer service, they're treating the audience like a revenue stream to be mined, not a community to be nurtured. And that's the part Variety doesn't quite say. They call it cheapening the experience. They say it's alienating audiences, but they stop short of calling it what it really is, a betrayal of the medium. Movies are supposed to be immersive, transportive, sacred even, and when you front load that experience with 30 minutes of ads for insurance companies and soda brands, you're not just annoying people, you're breaking the spell. Theaters are facing competition on all sides, streaming, piracy, even international markets that offer a better experience. And instead of rising to the challenge, they're digging their own grave with more ads, higher prices, and less respect for the audience. If they want to survive, they need to stop thinking like ad networks and start thinking like curators of culture. Because right now, pirates are offering the better experience, streamers are offering more flexibility, and international theaters are offering more respect. The US theatrical model is broken, and unless something changes, it won't take 20 years for the moviegoing experience to disappear. It'll happen a lot sooner. Let me know what you think about all of this.